Do you have a desire to get momentum in the right direction? You have the kids, you might have work, you might have being a husband or a wife, you have all the things and all the reasons why you getting momentum to start your business can be delayed, can be stalled. And people come to me all the time and they're like, Tiff, I just got so much going on. How do you stay focused? How do you make sure that you're always working on your business? How do you overcome adversity when things come up? And I'm telling you, it is by far my most asked question. What happens is when they ask me this question, they ask me in different variations and they don't realize that the answer that I'm going to give is always the same. And it is this answer. And this upcoming clip from a coaching call that I did where before I do the call, I say, what questions do you guys have? And I got at least 10 of the same question. And I gave the same answer to all 10. Because the answer to this question for me is always going to be the same. It's always going to be, you need to establish small wins. You need to establish a winning streak. And you say, how do I establish that? How do I measure that? It's the rule of 3. Check this clip out so you can apply it to your life. Talk to him like I've been time, but we normally do this call later in the day. This one's a little lengthy, okay? But I'm gonna give you the gist of it, okay? What's the best strategy to regain the balance when life gets super busy and chaotic in many ways, right? She says, prayer is one of my strategies to seek God for his peace, rest, and strategy, but what practical steps can I implement? I may not make the live call because I'll still be at work, but I'll catch the replay. So I always give the same advice for stuff like this because I think it's the most effective. This answer is going to apply to both of these questions. She said, how can I break down larger tasks into manageable steps, making it easier to maintain focus and track progress? A lot of what you guys are asking me are in the vein of this. And so what I want you to understand is the rule of 3 does not change. Like, it is the best solution to get momentum when you don't have it. It really is. It's to just write down the 3 things that I know I need to do the very next day. It's the best way to do it. And if you say, well, how do I know what the 3 things are? That's what you leverage the portal for. The portal is going to always tell you what your 3 things are, because wherever you left off, that means that's the last thing you did, right? And then it's going to tell you this is what you should be working on next. Sometimes what you should be working on next will have some tasks even included in that. So just do the rule of 3. Don't overthink it, right? Don't overthink it. What are the 3 things that I can do today that will push me forward to my goal? You write those 3 things down. And then the very next day, you write 3 more things down. And you make sure no matter what, those 3 things get done. The strategy to get the 3 things done is you can't put something on there like, well, you know what? I'm going to build a house. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's been on my to-do list. I need to build the whole house. That's not how you get it done. You got to break that thing down into these tiny little wins, right? Just give yourself tiny little wins. I'm going to work on the budget for the house. I'm going to go research how much the drywall is going to take to build the house. I'm going to find 3 painters that I want to schedule interviews for that can be my painter for the house. It's like break it down into the smallest increments and give yourself 3 things to do that's probably achievable in 1 hour. It might take you longer than an hour, but if you tell yourself it's going to take you longer than an hour, you're never going to start it because you're like, Lord, I don't have 2 hours to give to this. So you're going to keep pushing it off. So you give yourself 3 small things that you can do quickly that are going to get you closer to your goal. Your first thing might be let me spend 30 minutes in the portal to see what my other 2 things going to be. Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. So whatever you need to do, make it as small as possible. The one thing that is going to always inspire you to continue to do the thing is you giving yourself small wins. Small wins has this psychological effect. It just gives you a boost of dopamine that tells you, I know it's a mountain that I need to take care of, but the 3 things that I said I wanted to do, I did it. It's going to give you a boost in your self-confidence, and then you jump in there and do the 3 things again, the next 3 things. I was telling somebody this, I don't know which call I was on, but I was telling her the rule of 3, and she was needing to get her momentum back. She was needing to get her small wins. I said, your 3rd thing for the first day might be writing my 3 things down for the next day. It's not about the thing when you first start doing this. It's about you doing the thing and giving yourself the dopamine hit of the small wins. Does that make sense? It's a whole business you got to build. You're going to always feel like there's so much to do. You're going to always feel like, man, I should be doing, I wish she rocking it. I should be like, you're going to always have this underlying feeling. The only way to circumvent that is to know no matter what, I'm spending an hour on my business with everything I got going on with my 9 to 5, with the kids, football, with school starting, with all that. I know I'm giving an hour to my business and I'm going to knock out my 3 things. And there's something about doing those 3 things at the end of the day that is going to inspire you and motivate you to do it again the next day. But when you guys ask me the same question in 17,000 different ways, I promise you, I'm going to give you the same answer. The only way to stop feeling discouraged on where you are in the process is to get further along in the process. The only way to get further along in the process is to make tiny movements towards your goal. I think you think I got to make these leaps and these strides and I got to do 100 miles a day and that's not that important in the beginning of becoming an entrepreneur. You just need to do tiny steps towards your goal. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of you can appreciate instant gratification. Who can't, right? You do something, you immediately see the return on it. But when there's something that you're in where there's delayed gratification, it takes a mature, resounding, resilient individual to stay in the fight for something that's going to give you delayed gratification, to stay in the fight to say, like Selena, you got to do seed work for maybe 30 days before you see some fruit on what you're doing. You got to be built different for entrepreneurship. It's not like a job where they paying you even in training. They paying you while you scrolling on your phone. They paying you when you're not even feeling well. And even though you're only supposed to do 20 files a day, you did 3 and you told them you try to catch up tomorrow, they'll still cut you a check. But entrepreneurship is not like that.
Are y'all enjoying the video? I sure hope you are. I'm going to pop in for a second, Tiffany from the future, and just tell you that 10 years ago, I was not doing all the crazy and lovely things that you see me doing now. I was bankrupt in financial disarray, but I tapped into a little known niche in real estate and I was able to make multiple 6 figures a year. And I've done so consistently for the past decade. And I tell you all about what I do and how I do it. This is what I do. I tell you exactly how I started it, exactly how I scaled it to multiple 6 figures, being a college dropout and apparently couldn't do 3rd grade math because I was bankrupt, which is just adding and subtracting. And I did not feel like I had the knowledge or entrepreneurs around me to teach me what to do. But guess what? I scaled it to multiple 6 figures a year. And then I also show you how I've sustained it. Because some people can show you how to scale something, but they can't show you how to keep it. So I show you all those things. All you have to do is go to tiffany'smasterclass.com and I tell you for free. Back to the video.
What you're wanting is the feeling of instant gratification. You're not going to get it here. Your instant gratification has to be, I finished what I was supposed to do on my to-do list. That's the best I can give you for that. That's your instant gratification. And knowing that those checking off on the to-do list is seed work that will reap you a harvest. Okay, so I want you to be mindful of that. And I want you to keep in mind, you're building a business. It's likened to building a house. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you just stop working on it, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Everything you've invested so far, your time, your money, learning something new, going to TC calls will mean nothing if you just abruptly stop. And if you're waiting for this overwhelming feeling to come over you that says, oh my God, I just woke up today. I just feel so motivated. All of a sudden, I just cannot wait to just get in here and work on this business. It's not going to come. Grow up. That's what kids need. You have to say, I'm going to do my 3 things no matter how I feel. By you doing the 3 things, no matter how you feel, the feeling that you were wanting before you did the 3 things is the feeling you will get because you did the 3 things. Okay. It's the feeling you're going to get after. So just remember that this is a different mindset you're going to have as an entrepreneur, where you have to be focused on what are the things I need to do to see the results that I'm seeking, and become obsessed with that part of it. Become obsessed with the things you need to do to get the results that you're seeking, and don't focus. You won't even look at the results, because what happens is the results will be inevitable if you focus on the first part of the equation. What are the things that I need to do to get the results that I'm seeking? I'm telling you, if I were to plant a garden right now, I would have no control over how many fruitful things would come from my garden. As far as it being healthy, I will have some control. I won't say no control. I won't have all control. I know if I pick some great pesticides, and the amount I seeded, and if I watered it properly, like if I did all the things that I could control to get the results that I'm seeking, then I'll most likely have better results. But at the end of the day, Bible says God provides the increase. At the end of the day, all you can do is seed and water and let God provide the increase. So I just want you to be mindful of that, because it probably was a third one that was very similar to that question, because a lot of people are getting busy with life. And I don't know what you think happens when you get busy with life. Like if you're going to get a citation from one of us to say, hey, you've been busy, you haven't been in the portal. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're desiring with that question, but I do know it's a lot of people's question. So I don't want anybody to feel bad for asking it. I think it's a lot of people's question. For 3 people to ask it, it was 30. Okay. That was thinking it, but I do think I tell you what, my best answer to that is it's a mindset shift of being a farmer, focusing on seed work, and that's it. And getting your dopamine from every day that you go out and plant the seed. You're not going to get it from anything else right now. Okay. Until you do, right? Until you start seeing the results, and it may intensify, right? Your seed work, but you have to get excited about putting in the work.